don't see him as a pure scorer. I think he can score. I think what he does is he looks at what the Celtics are doing, and he can contribute in a multitude of ways. He can rebound, he can defend, he can make some plays, he can score. But if I'm trusting him to be my go-to scorer, that scares me.
The whole thing was, hey, we're in this together. We got 12 Hall of Famers, and we're just committed to winning, and we won the gold medal. So,
for a second consecutive game on the floor of the defending champs, Tatum inside flies and is fouled.
Back the Knicks here in the fourth, Kevin.
Tatum at the line. Stops a 21-2 run. Boston has not hit a field goal in over 8 minutes. And the lead is one.
Plus 21 with Robinson in.
Tatum right to the hole! And the Celtics the lead. Timeout. Brunson with the ball. For the lead, he was fouled as he fired. The regular season, 81% against Detroit. They'll rattle that for the Celtics.
They're going to go. They're not going to use the timeout. Plenty of time here.
It's Tatum. Robinson's on him. Tatum maneuvering. Oh, the ball knocked away. Another great defensive play for the Knicks. They've got it. They've won it. New York has gone up 2 games to none.
This was eerily similar to game 1. I mean, you led for the first time with 2 minutes in the fourth.
Welcome back to Money Talk Sports. If this is your first time, go ahead and click that like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you share it with a friend. Today I wanted to talk about the Boston Celtics, and right now there's so many things that's going on. They actually just lost tonight, which is May 7th. Okay, so they just lost tonight. So right now they actually is down 0-2 in the playoff in 2025 playoff against the New York Knicks. And so many different reporters, the media outlets and so forth really didn't give New York Knicks a chance. I know that only a few, Greeny on ESPN, they actually, I heard him, he actually kind of gave them a chance. But what I wanted to talk about is so many people, they actually pretty much just, in the past, when you always notice Boston Celtics, you always notice that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, pretty much, they always had, like, the similar stats. So it was always, like, 1A and 1B, like, both, like, Batman and Superman, not really Batman and Robin. There was always, like, equal on equal footing. But it seems like going into this year, it seems like with the media and the team itself wanted to pretty much, being that Jason Tatum, he went to the Olympics and everything, seems like the team just wanted to go ahead and coronate him as the team leader, So now, so what they wanted to do was just go ahead and put Jaylen Brown in the background and say, okay, you, the second person, you're Robin, and Jason Tatum, you're the team leader on the team. So you could tell they as the team, they made a transition to say, well, this is Jason Tatum's team, and Jason Tatum is like the leader, of the forefront. If there's like a play that they're doing in the end, more than likely Jason Tatum is going to handle the ball. Normally in the past, it would be Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, but now you can see a transition where they wanted Jason Tatum to pretty much be the face of the franchise. So what they're doing is pretty much the whole media, everywhere you go, you heard how they talk about Jason Tatum, MVP candidate, Jason Tatum. But the reason why, if you notice at the beginning of the video, I actually brought in and talked about the clip of Steve Kerr, and because during the Olympics, during the off season, when they this past summer, where they had to do the Olympics, Steve Kerr ended up, had Jason Tatum coming off the bench. And not only at times that he had him coming off the bench, but he had him a DNP, did not play. Okay? And the reason for that is because, and I want to go ahead and just state that this is not a quote. Okay? So this is my analysis of what I see when you think about Steve Kerr. It's just, it's not his, when he looks at Jason Tatum, he looks at Jason Tatum as a very good player, a player that has everything you need to be a superstar. However, when it comes to Jason Tatum, it seems like the way that he plays the game is too. It's like he always rather let the game come to him rather than being aggressive and taking the game. Okay, so there's times, because if you notice, like even whenever I watch Steph Curry play, Steph Curry he shoot 3 pointers at a very, very, very high clip, where he's always taking a lot of 3-pointers. But one thing I notice about Steph Curry is if his 3-pointers are not working, he drives to the basket really, really hard and he gets 2 points. But right now, Boston Celtics, they have, they're going with this analytic approach where they want to shoot so many threes. And that's the difference between Jaylen Brown being a leader of the team and being one of the leaders, and Jason Tatum playing his game. Because if you notice, right, the last 2 games, right, New York Knicks and Boston Celtics, they actually played. Last year, in this situation, when Jaylen Brown is playing, he understands that as a team, they want to, follow analytics. They want to make sure that they're shooting 3-pointers instead of 2s. But one thing I noticed about Jaylen Brown always know that, hey, if we haven't had a shot in a minute, I'm driving to the basket. Okay, and I was watching Speak. The reason why I actually put Rick Bueller, because I saw his quote this week when he was on Speak, right? And okay, so this week, Rick Bueller was on Speak, and he pretty much stated that last year during the championships, the NBA championship, that he voted for Jason Tatum to be the team MVP, and he stated that he felt that it was stolen from Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown was the team MVP. But if you notice from this season in the playoffs, and really just this year in general, on how they're playing, you could tell that there's a difference in leadership on how the team is. And if you notice, like last year when they was in the playoffs, Jaylen Brown, when the team was led by both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but when they both had access to take leadership whenever they felt needed, and they both was viewed as 1A and 1B, versus the Boston Celtics being completely led by Jason Tatum. If you notice that they had more of a confidence that in every game they was not going to lose. They felt that Jaylen Brown last year in the playoffs, they felt that Jaylen Brown under any circumstance was not going to let them lose. And if you notice, the team rallied around Jaylen Brown, and you felt the impact when they played, not only in the playoffs, but all the way through the championships. Okay? Now, during the course of the Olympics of this year, during this past summer, if you notice, the team transitioned from being led by both players, by Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, to now being, whereas Jason Tatum is the face of the franchise and the team is being completely led by Jason Tatum. Now, if you notice down the stretch, they make sure that the ball is going to Jason Tatum because they want to make sure that Jason Tatum has the ball to take the final shots. Whereas before in the past, you had both players, both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, having free access and the green light pretty much to take any shots that they wanted. Whereas if you notice right now, it seems like they're following the analytic approach, and under no circumstance they're breaking and like taking shoot tools, or and it seems like that's why they're on fire at some point. But then once the threes stop falling, now they're in a passive mode, you know. And now if you notice one thing about New York Knicks and under Tom Thibodeau is always going to make sure that his team is defense ready. They know that they can always get a stop. So right now it looks like, man, the New York Knicks is up 2-0. So this is going to be a long series, you know. So this is definitely either going 6 or 7.